I'm going to talk about some movies, guys. I watched 21 movies in October. Watched a ton of horror movies. I think almost all of them are horror. Maybe like no, they all are horror except one. It was a Korean thriller. So let's get this. Let's whip this out. The first movie, guys, I watched in October was Sleepy Hollow from 1999. This is directed by Tim Burton, and I have to give credit to the cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki. This movie looks freaking awesome. The town Sleepy Hollow. There was a tweet going around like, which horror movie, where would you live, like in which setting from a horror movie? I'd totally live in Sleepy Hollow, man. It looks totally, really comforting. Just those old houses, man, surrounded by a forest, and just seeing the smoke from fireplaces, and it just looks really nice. So, but hey, man, I'm not a Johnny Depp guy, not a huge fan, but this is one of my favorite performances from him. When he gets squirted with blood a couple of times, kind of catches him off guard, you know. So, Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, Casper Van Dien is also in this from Starship Troopers. Christopher Walken, of course, as the Headless Horseman. Christopher Lee is also in this, but really good storytelling. And I like how some things that are told in the beginning and middle come back to haunt people at the end, or they kind of tie things together from the beginning and middle. So, yeah, it looks great. The action, there's some action in here. It's actually well choreographed, and the practical effects, the gore looks pretty cool. You know me, guys. I'm a practical effects guy. But yeah, 4.5 stars out of 5. I highly, highly recommend Sleepy Hollow. I hadn't seen it in a decade or so, and it holds up. I remember watching it as a teenager, guys. So, The Shining. I started the month with classics, guys, because I just didn't want to get disappointed. I wanted some instant gratification, I guess. But 1980, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, even the kid, Danny Lloyd's great. Scatman Crothers is good too. It's kind of them four mostly, and man, so every detail on this, guys. I'm talking like every color choice on the ground, on the walls, every item on the on shelves, every piece of art that's hung up on the walls. Every little detail means something, man. I'm telling you, the attention to detail is crazy. I think it's just the set designs and color palettes are just it really turns me on, dude. So that's why I gave this one 5 out of 5. Jack Nicholson, all-time performance, obviously. Shelley Duvall's really good too. Child actors are really hard to get because they can be annoying, but Danny Lloyd does pretty good, and maybe not the scariest horror, but it's freaky. Definitely got under my nerves a couple times, even on this 4th or 5th watch. The music is really good. There's definitely some good needle drops. And just an all-timer, guys. 5 stars out of 5. The Shining. Another classic third movie is Psycho. Checking out Psycho. Let's see here. So, man, Anthony Perkins, top 10 horror villains ever. His performance here is like so good, guys. It's crazy how the movie opens with like Janet Leigh, Marion Crane, and the guy she's with. She's like kind of in bra and like unclothed quite a bit. I think the guy has his shirt off, and it's in the middle of like they just got done doing it. You know, it's crazy how they 1960 they let that happen. But Alfred Hitchcock, master of tension, guys. When she's getting chased by the cop, you really, really feel that cop, and it's like her subconscious is the cop because she did something bad, and it's just following her and won't let go. Really captured that really well, guys. And I don't know the way that guy fell down the stairs. I mean, that doesn't really hold up, but I get it for 1960. It's whatever. I'm fine with it, but. Masterful performance by Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. Some good cinematography, guys. And 5 stars out of 5. Just an all-timer. All-timer. So the next movie I watched was Last Shift. This is like a paranormal movie. This rookie cop is heading the front desk in a spooky, abandoned, almost, I mean, it's just a neglected police department or station. And I think I was too harsh. I gave it 2 out of 5. But I think it could be a 3. I like the visuals. The visuals are actually pretty good. But the cop was just so stupid. All this horrible, freaky shit's happening, and like a dozen things go wrong, and then she just goes back to the desk like, huh, nothing's really happening. But you know, it is. It looks pretty neat when the spooky stuff happens. So I say I can't fully recommend it because I gave it 2 out of 5. But Last Shift, guys, you might like it. I'll give it. I might change my rating later, but let's stick with what it is now. Psycho 2, guys. I just found out there were sequels like a year or so ago. Added them to my watch list. I watched the second one, guys, and the plot's a little convoluted. I got a little frustrated with how they were taking the story, what was allowed to happen. But hey, man, Anthony Perkins doesn't top his previous performance, but he's really good again. Meg Tilly, sister of Elizabeth Tilly, and she's really good in this. Dennis Franz is funny, dude. I like him just being pissed off, yelling. He's pretty funny. Robert Loggia from Independence Day is in this, among other movies. But the kills are shocking. They kind of come out of nowhere, and I like how those were done for sure. But little convoluted plot story, but good story and solid performances. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Really hard to top that first one, guys. But I recommend Psycho 2. I gotta see 3, guys. Alright, next up is Pandorum. I always kind of thought about this as an Event Horizon type of movie. I think Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed Event Horizon, is a producer on this. But guys, this has the dreaded fast edit rapid cuts that I just can't stand. You can't even tell what's happening, and it just gave me a headache. Cannot stand it. But it's got a good cast. Ben Foster, Dennis Quaid, Norman Reedus. And there's an MMA fighter in there. I think he's Filipino. I can't remember what his name was. But, dude, it looks good sometimes. The monsters look pretty freaky. I kind of like the idea of people getting, like, space dementia or just going crazy in space. But, yeah, I found it pretty annoying to watch, guys. 2.5 stars out of 5. I like outer space, horror, sci-fi horror, but it just didn't quite do it for me. I'm not an M. Night Shyamalan guy, but I watch Signs because my girlfriend really likes it. 3.5 stars out of 5. This is from 2002. Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, Rory Culkin, Abigail Breslin, and I like it because the director of photography, Tak Fujimoto, he, I believe, did Silence of the Lambs from 1990. So there's some. It's a good-looking movie. There's some good. Some shots hang for a while, slowly zoom in. That really caught my eye, guys. And there's an awesome dinner scene between the 4 family members. They're trying to have a... They think it's the end of the world or they're screwed, so they cooked like everything that they wanted. But Mel Gibson gets pissy, and then the way he's eating and crying, dude, that's a really unforgettable moment. It's not very scary. I think the first time you watch it, there's a couple of shocking scenes, but on this watch, it wasn't that scary, dude. Kind of knew what was going to happen. But hey, man, solid acting. Good looking movie. 3.5 stars out of 5. Signs. Alright, Terrifier 3, guys. Saw this in theaters. I gave it 2 out of 5, guys. I'm not a fan. I don't like torture porn. I don't like gore porn. I like my kills that have a lot of tension around it. When the kills happen, they're quick. Gruesome's fine, but like and this one, man, like, they really, I was just yawning, dude. Like, the kills go on for way too long, and it's like, yeah, shocking, whatever. And I know people are like laughing. It's like, holy crap, dude! Like, look at that. And like, I get it, but for me, I felt nothing, man. I really did not enjoy this movie that much. The ending's kind of a stinker. I don't really, I don't know. It just ended really stupidly, dude. Like, you know, she's gonna get out of this situation she's in, you know, and like stuff happens, and I can't spoil it. But not impressed, guys. 2 out of 5 for Terrifier 3. I kind of like there's like a tint to it that I did like though. It had like a maybe like a VHS hue to it. Can't really describe it, but whatever. The Thing, guys, another all-time classic. 5 stars out of 5. This movie is just not knowing who to trust, man, and how this thing just jumps around from person to person. You don't know who's infected or what's gonna happen, dude. And like Kurt Russell, McReady is like the helicopter dude, but then all of them, like, they make him leader, kind of, you know. Love Keith David. Wilford Brimley's in this, guys. Donald Moffat, when he's tied to the couch, he has this iconic line. But I like how the exterior shots, man, they shoot when it's really light, and as things get worse, the exterior shots, it's darker and darker. But it's just an all-timer, dude, and the practical effects, some of the best you've ever seen. And yeah, I really like The Thing, guys. 5 stars out of 5. Masterpiece. The Ring. This is one of the first horror DVDs I ever owned. I remember watching this on vacation in high school, I think. Went on a skiing, and we watched it while we were there. And I haven't seen this in so long, but I gave it 3 out of 5. Barely a recommendation, just barely. Rachel Keller is such a Karen, and I don't like her attitude. And she seems like a bad mother, too. But, man, when you see those person's faces, man, when they're shocked and they die of, like, they're just, the way they pass away when they come into contact or see the ring or this child, it's pretty terrifying. But, it's slow paced, and I guess it's another movie, like, you kind of see what happens, you're not that scared type of thing. So it doesn't really hold up in the horror department. But Brian Cox is in here. Man, he does this really cool movement of his eyes. I should get a gif of it and show y'all. So, yeah, man. Naomi Watts, dude, I had a huge crush on her. She looks so hot in this. And she's, you know, definitely a teenage crush. So she looks good. She acts good. But I just don't like her character much, man. So, 3 out of 5. I should just watch the original Japanese Ringu. Alright, guys. The Fly. All-timer. Again, I had to watch another classic, right? David Cronenberg's one of my favorite directors. 5 stars out of 5. Jeff Goldblum, Seth Brundle, dude. Killed it. Gina Davis, they have great chemistry, them two. And she does a fine job herself. John Getz plays Stathis. What a name, right? Stathis Borans. What kind of name is that? But, dude, he plays the greatest slime balls. Really good villain, John Getz. I love him. And I know he's a really piece of shit in this movie, but, you know, he kind of redeems himself. You know, he is human, and he does come to help at the end. So, David Cronenberg making an appearance. It's really shocking when she has that horror dream sequence, guys. It's absolutely disgusting. But this movie is fucking heartbreaking, man. I can't name many movies as heartbreaking as this. It really gets under my skin. It really makes me feel stuff. And Cronenberg, he's a master on set designs and color palettes. It's kind of like what I said about The Shining, dude. Every choice of items on the desk, every little color, and what people are wearing, those colors, it all matches with, like, everything on screen, man. I love it. So, The Fly, 5 stars out of 5. Evil Dead Remake. Okay, I was like, man, they're never going to top Evil Dead. This is a cash grab. I'm not going to watch it. But I heard it had good reviews, and I had just saw Fede Alvarez do Alien Romulus. I already talked about my feelings about that one, but yeah, dude, 4 stars out of 5. Evil Dead remake. So I like how Mia's a drug addict, and that's kind of why they're out here in the woods trying to get better, right? And excellent. It was pretty scary, man. I really liked it, and tense moments. You've got. I like the sound design on the demons. That's probably what got me the most. The lines they say. Um, really like that. And then, hey, man, the gore, they really bring it. But man, why people are stupid? Why are you reading from that freaking book, dude? Like, y'all should. It looks pretty terrifying. Don't read from that book. Nosy white people. But I liked it, man. Really, really liked it. 4 stars out of 5. So, Lady Vengeance, I saw this at Hyperreal Film Club. It's a local theater. Just a small group of people decided to start their own kind of movie theater, and they show all kinds of movies, guys. And this is Park Chan-wook, directed this from 2005, and he's the guy that directed Oldboy. This is the Vengeance trilogy. There's 3 films: Oldboy, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. And I really like this, guys. 4.5 stars out of 5. I have a huge crush on Lee Young-ae. She's in my like top 20 crushes. Troy Min-shik is also in this. He was a star of Oldboy. He's in this. And the film looks fantastic. Color palette, cinematography looks really good. But man, this is it's like I didn't remember how funny this was. It's like a dark comedy. A dark comedy, revenge, thriller, drama, if that describes it well. But I loved it, man. I really, really liked it. And they don't go. They choose wisely when to show violence and when not to. Some of it happens off screen, but it's just well directed, man. Well acted, and it's funny too. I couldn't believe how funny it was. But maybe I shouldn't have been laughing. It's kind of a serious movie. Mosquito. This is a nice slice of Lamburger cheese. This is some cheesy creature features, sci-fi. 3.5 stars out of 5. Look, guys, the acting, the CGI are really poor. You guys, some of y'all might think I'm crazy for rating it this high, but hey, man, it's a cheesy B-horror feel, direct-to-video-ish horror movie. Like, we gotta give credit where credit's due. The practical effects, when there's not CGI, are really good. And like, hey, man, I got kind of freaked out. Like, we all hate mosquitoes, guys. And just imagine if mosquitoes got like freaking 100 times as big, or just huge, and it's like, ugh. Like I got goosebumps a couple times, man. They were just coming after people, and the plot's a little stupid, like how they get in and out of situations. Like they run away, and then like the mosquitoes don't chase them. Like they do some plot developments, and like why aren't the mosquitoes on their ass like all the time? I don't know. But hey, man, I really enjoyed this low-budget horror movie. Watch more trash, guys. If you're having fun, you're having fun. The Wicker Man. Okay, this is a So Bad It's Good. It's from 2006. This is the remake. And Nicolas Cage is being, he's trying, you know. Ellen Burstyn is in this, Lily Sobieski. Okay, I gave this 4 stars when I first watched it a couple years ago. So Bad It's Good. Laughed my ass off. Watch it again, guys. 2 out of 5. It's pretty slow, and I didn't laugh as hard this time. It's really bizarre, and the detective's like a freaking idiot, dude. He's traveled like 2 state lines to investigate stuff on his own, and everybody on this island or community gives him the runaround, and then he doesn't get it, and he's like, you know, they're trying to entrap you into something bad. He's stupid. But I mean, definitely some bizarre, So Bad It's Good moments, guys. You might like it more than I did, but no. Black Devil Doll from Hell. I watched this at Right Brain TV, guys. My friends, I consider them friends. They've been so good to me. They ditch Netflix, guys, and get on Right Brain Studios TV. They've got all kinds of cool films, a lot of obscure films, a lot of stuff you won't find anywhere else. stuff that's been banned, and films that just were not given a wide release at the time because of what they talked about. So get on over to rightbrainstudios.tv, guys. Think about becoming a member. Black Devil Doll from Hell is like not even a B movie. It's like Z grade, guys. The lowest budget possible. This guy made the music on a broken Casio keyboard. But man, I want to rate it higher because it's an admirable effort by a guy that has no film training, no knowledge whatsoever. I think he took like a city college class in the middle of this to kind of learn. But man, it's just not impressive. I didn't have a good time watching this. The music's so bad. It's just kind of it's so boring. And I mean, I just like it. I think you should watch it just because how this guy made a movie with no freaking film training or knowledge, you know? So you might get something out of it. And yeah. And then I had to watch the next film he made, Tales from the Quad End Zone, 1987. So it's another movie it's so low budget and it's just a slog, guys. But this one's a little funnier. There's a couple stories that are going on. It's kind of like a Tales of the Crypt, guys. But a couple of moments where I laughed, I chuckled, you know. And yeah, I'm not gonna say much else. 2.5 stars out of 5. Can't recommend it. Just kind of, I was kind of miserable watching those two. But Species, I grew up watching this, guys. So it's a little too long. This movie is so stupid, guys. But 3 out of 5, man. Alien babe trying to mate, horny as hell. Other characters are horny as hell too. But yeah, dude, Natasha Henstridge, teenage crush, dude, killing it. Michelle Williams is like the younger version of the alien. It's cool to see her in this. Ben Kingsley, Michael Madsen, Marge Helgenberger, Alfred Molina, Forrest Whitaker, right there, guys. I like this the most out of, because it's like the whole crew, like they've all have their specialty, and it's like a big detective game, and you have to kind of depend on these people with 5 different backgrounds to get 5 different opinions from all their like specialties that they have. Although some people are like worthless, dude. I don't remember Alfred Molina doing much. Forrest Whitaker is like, he's like clairvoyant or something, but like even he like just is like, they get to a place, is like, oh, she went this way, she went to the left, not the right. So, but hey, man, it's not the most fast-paced, it's entertaining enough. 3 out of 5, okay? And next up, we did the first Species. We had to do the second one, right? So, Species 2, just as dumb as the first. However, it's shorter, it's tighter, and the practical effects are even better than the first, guys. So Michael Madsen, Henstridge come back, Helgenberger, you got Macaulay Williamson. He's one of the NASA space flights. What do you call it? Part of the flight crew. But I don't know why he teams up with Press Linux, the assassin guy who's tracking the alien. Like, he's a civilian, kind of. Like, why are you just tagging along? But James Cromwell, dude, the Irishman, I love him and everything he's in. But dude, really effed up practical effects, man. And even when, not to spoil too much, but Macaulay Williamson sees something horrible happen and it's in CGI, but it looks really cool for the time. There's some other CGI that's not cool, but dude, shocking kills. 3.5 stars out of 5. Stupid fun. I liked Species 2. Okay, guys, that about does it. October 2024 movie recap. So, and I'm close to watching 200 films, guys. I think November's going pretty well. We're about halfway through, and I've watched maybe about a dozen or so films. So get ready for me to recap that. I'm always posting what I'm watching on Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram. I log and review every movie on Letterboxd, and I'm posting everything I watch to all social media. So follow me over there if you want like updates on what I'm watching, guys. I don't give the most in-depth reviews on Letterboxd or where I post, but I try to do my best and at least recommend something for y'all to watch. I would love feedback. It's always a good feeling if you guys watch something that I recommended, and definitely challenge my opinion if you want, but just don't go crazy about it if I dislike something that you liked. I don't know, it's just my opinion. So